I should like motion 2.1, please, to adopt the agenda for the February 9, 2016 public hearing. Torgerson and Blanchette. Okay, all in favor? Carried. So, agenda item 3.1. This public hearing is being convened pursuant to Section 890 of the Local Government Act in order to consider Village of Valemount zoning bylaw number 610, 2007 amendment bylaw number 751, 2016. At this public hearing, any person present who believes that his or her interest in property may be affected by Village of Valemount zoning bylaw number 610, 2007 amendment bylaw number 751, 2016 shall be given an opportunity to be heard on the matters contained in the proposed bylaw. However, it is important that all who speak at this meeting restrict their remarks to matters contained in the proposed bylaw, and it is my responsibility as chairperson of this meeting to ensure that all remarks are so restricted. Those of you who wish to speak concerning Village of Valemount zoning bylaw number 610, 2007 amendment bylaw number 751, 2016 should, at the appropriate time, commence your address to the council and meeting by clearly stating your name and address. Then you may give us the benefit of your views concerning the proposed zoning amendment. Members of council may, if they so wish, ask questions of you following your presentation. However, the main function of the council members this evening is to listen to the views of the public. It is not the function of council at this public hearing to debate the merits of Village of Valemount zoning bylaw number 610, 2007, amendment bylaw number 751, 2016. Everyone who deems his or her interest in property to be affected shall be given the opportunity to be heard at this meeting. No one will be, nor should feel, discouraged or prevented from making his or her views known. After this public hearing has concluded, council may, without further notice, give whatever effect council believes proper to the representation made at this hearing. During the course of a public hearing, people sometimes tend to become enthusiastic or emotional. Regardless of whether you favor or oppose any particular application or argument, please refrain from applause or other expressions of emotion. Restraint enables others whose views may or may not coincide with your own to exercise their right to express their views, and enables all views expressed to be heard in as impartial a forum as possible. Mr. Young.
Yes, good evening. Yes, good evening, Mayor Townsend, members of council, members of the audience. I'm Andrew Young, the village's corporate officer and planner. I'm here to provide you with a public hearing brief concerning the Village of Valemount zoning bylaw, amendment bylaw number 751, 2016, which is a proposal to amend the text of the high-density residential R5 zoning schedule in order to support future residential development. The name of the applicant is the Village of Valemount, and the purpose, as I mentioned, is to amend the text of the village's high-density residential R5 zoning schedule. The proposed text amendment will help promote development of R5 zoned properties in Valemount, attract investment to Valemount, and broaden the village's tax base. Village staff supports the proposed amendment to the R5 zoning schedule. A bit of background. Council recently adopted another bylaw number 744, 2015, which rezoned part of a 22.25 hectare site located at 202 Ash Street in order to support future residential development. Currently, the R5 zoning schedule restricts development in the R5 zone to apartment buildings. In order to support more flexible forms of development on that property, as well as other R5 zoned sites in Valemount, village staff recommends that the permitted uses in the R5 zoning schedule be expanded to include coach house, duplex, fourplex, row house, single-family dwelling, and townhouse. The bylaw includes a number of new definitions and some revised definitions to support the suggested changes to the R5 zoning schedule. The recommendation is that Council, subject to any comments that are received during the public hearing, gives third reading to Village of Valemount zoning bylaw, amendment bylaw number 751, 2016. Thank you.
And I note that there were no written comments received prior to the publication of the public hearing agenda. Are there any now?
There are none.
None? All right. Are there any public comments at this time? Well, hearing none. Recommendation that council receives, if any, and there aren't any. So I'll just close the public hearing. There. It's 1 minute after 7 up there. So between your watch and that clock. I'm calling the meeting to order. And agenda 2.1, adoption of the agenda for the February 9th, 2016 regular meeting. Moved by Councillor Torgerson, second by Councillor Blanchette. Is there anything that is to be added or amended, included? Nothing? Okay. All in favor? Carried. Adoption of the minutes of the January 22nd, 2016 special meeting of Council. Recommendation that Council adopts the minutes of the January 22nd meeting. Moved by Blanchette and seconded by Torgerson. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 3.2, adoption of the minutes of the January 26th, 2016 public hearing. Motion to adopt the minutes, please. Councillor Reimer and Blanchette. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 3.3, adoption of the minutes of the January 26, 2016 regular meeting of Council. Motion to adopt, please. Okay, Salt and Torgerson. Are there any errors or omissions? My, we're doing well. All in favor? Carried. 3.4, adoption of the minutes of the February 2nd, 2016 special meeting. Motion to adopt, please. Okay, Reimer and Blanchette. Any errors or omissions here? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 3.5, reporting out of one item from the in-camera meeting of January 12, 2016. No motion required. And 3.6, reporting out of one item from the in-camera meeting of January 26th. Again, no motion required. We have no delegations, no unfinished business, correspondence for action. 6.1, Canoe Mountain Rodeo request for letter of support. Councillor Torgerson.
Your Worship, I wish to recuse myself on a conflict as I sit on that board.
Okay. Noted that Councillor Torgerson has recused himself. I'll take a motion then to receive the letter from the Canoe Mountain Rodeo and Music, Reimer and Blanchette, and it's open for discussion. What is Council's thought?
I'd like to make a motion that we send them the letter. However, I'd like to make sure that perhaps in the letter we would remind them that CBT, CIP initiatives, it's not allowed to...
I understand that. I have that highlighted here, and that needs to be noted in the letter of support, that Council is not supporting their application to Columbia Basin Trust Community Initiatives Program. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Agenda item 6.2. Oh, and that's okay. And do you have to leave this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to just make some clarification as well beforehand.
Okay.
recuse myself.
Councillor Salt, you wanted to comment before you recuse yourself?
Yes, I will be recusing myself, conflict of interest, as I am an employee of the Valemount Children's Activity Society. This letter, although we didn't clarify in it that we realize that it can't be for CIP AAP program, we still require the village's approval, seeing that what we're planning on doing is on your property. So it doesn't have to be support for CIP AAP. However, a majority of the funding we're applying for is through a variety of other programming grants that we do require the village's approval and support on. So that's all I wish to say.
Okay.
Do you have any question?
Just that number 2, if council decides to provide a letter of support, it will be noted in it, just as it is to the rodeo, the Canoe Mountain Rodeo people, that the council is not providing any support for the Columbia Basin Trust community initiatives. Okay? Okay. Do councillors require any clarification from? No? Okay.
No. I'll get it sorted.
Okay, 6.2. Recommendation that council receives the letter from the Valemount Children's Activity Society and considers providing a letter from the Village of Valemount to support the grant applications being made by the Valemount Children's Activity Society. Moved by Councillor Reimer and seconded by Councillor Blanchette, with the notation that there's no support for CBT. Okay. Is there any discussion? Councillor Torgerson.
Yes, we are the landlord of that particular building. So if there's going to be any improvements on that through Columbia Basin Trust, Community Initiatives Area Affected Area Program, they may require a letter allowing said improvements. So if we were to provide a letter of support noting only that we are okay with the improvements, but in no way can support funding for that we administer. Something along those lines, Mr. Young, if you...
Yes. Just that the Village of Valemount has approved their proposed renovations or improvements, but is not supporting any grant applications to CBT community initiatives.
Yes.
Okay. That's clear? Okay. So that's all right with the mover and the seconder? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, Councillor Salt can come back in. Thank you, Mr. Peters. Agenda item 6.3, Integrity in Local Governments, Conference and Webinar Registration. What is council's wish here? I understand that Councillor Reimer is going to be in Vancouver anyway, and Councillor Torgerson, you wish to forego NCLGA and register for this. Okay, so the recommendation is that council approves payment of conference registration fees and related travel to permit Councillor Reimer to attend the Integrity in Local Governments Conference, and payment of webinar registration fees to permit Councillor Torgerson. Councillors Blanchette and Salt, are you interested in attending this? Participating?
Open for discussion if we may.
Okay, I need a mover and a seconder, please. Okay, Salt and Blanchette, it's open for discussion.
I was just wondering if the webinar, if we have to pay for every individual. If we're going to host it here in Chambers, do we have to pay for every individual for a webinar?
Yes, $350 each.
That's crazy.
It's
300.
Now I'm unclear if it's each, Your Worship. I just thought it was per connection.
That's, to me, that's what I'd like to know, if it's per connection or if it's per participant for a webinar.
Okay.
It's our understanding that it is for the connection.
That it's just for the connection?
That's our understanding, but we can confirm that.
I would like that clarified, please, before we pay for everyone who's interested to attend, that would amount to quite a bit, yes. Councillor Reimer.
When I saw it on my email, was the first time that I'd seen this. I don't know whether it was sent out to any of our emails earlier than that. And I'd called them right away and I said, you know, I just received this. And we haven't had the opportunity to even
Get the early bird registration.
get the early bird registration. So I'm wondering if we phoned from our office and see if they can cut us a little bit of a deal from our small community and give us a little cut rate on both, seeing that we have one person attending at the function and
One person here, one
one person here.
I don't recall the date that I received mine. I'm sure that we all received one.
Same day, I'm sure, and it was after the early bird.
Oh, it was the same day that I sent out the email. It wasn't,
The early
Received
bird was
an hour
January
previous.
22nd.
yeah, it was January 22nd, and I phoned them and I said, you know, we never even got the email any time before.
Well, it's just the day after regional district board meetings, and we're in budget again next week. So, yes, so.
I think it would be a very valuable workshop. I just don't know, I'd love to participate, but because I am in the midst of multiple grant applications that are all deadlines this month, I may not be able to, but if I have the opportunity, I'd love to be able to, if it's just for one connection fee.
Council, my recommendation is that the motion read that Councillor Reimer attend, Councillor Torgerson via webinar, and that clarification be obtained as to whether or not other councillors and senior staff can participate without paying any extra registration fees, that it's just for the webinar and one connection. And yes.
Mayor Townsend, if I may, the motion could be reframed as payment of webinar registration fees to permit Councillor Torgerson and other council members and senior staff, and subject to confirmation, to allow other council members and senior village staff to attend. And then that way you can pass the two motions tonight. We can confirm, and unless there's some change, in which case staff and other council members would not attend.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's how to word the resolution, is that Councillors Reimer and Torgerson participate, that their registration fees be paid. Okay? And that if it's just one registration fee for the webinar link or connection, then others may attend as well. But in this case, council is approving the expenditure of two registration fees of $350 each. Okay? Yes?
Up to 300.
Up to 300.
Up to 300?
And if we can get the early bird special, it'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if you can't get the early bird
Then it's
registration?
up to 300.
Up to 300.
The late,
I thought
the late
it was
registration.
350.
No, 300.
No? Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
250 if I'm a student, but
Okay.
it's been a while.
Okay. All right. So I think that's clear. Okay. The council is approving the expenditure of two registrations, one webinar and one personal attention or attendance. Yes, Councillor Reimer.
The recommendation includes related travel expenses. I'll gladly pay for my own hotel if I can get the village rate for the hotels.
I think if the village pays, and you're in Vancouver anyway, are you not?
Yeah.
All right, so if the village makes the reservation, you should be able to get local government or municipal government
Okay,
fees. Okay?
very good.
Okay. All right. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Do you have any further questions before we go on? Okay. The reading file, we have 7.1 Northern Health's Imagine Community grant funding. Is there any consideration that council wishes to discuss here? Economic Development Building Blocks Workshop in McBride on March 19th. I'm attending. Who else is?
You're attending?
I'm attending, yes. I got an email some time ago from Mr. Bruns pointing out the dates, so I said I would attend. Okay. I don't know if there's any cost involved, so I would just say that if any councillor has free time, please join us. Administrative reports, we have cost of services study update report, and the recommendation is that council defers the Director of Finance staff report regarding the water rate study information until the FCS group has completed the entire study. Motion please, Councillor Torgerson and Salt. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Affordable housing needs and demands assessment. I'll take a motion first to receive it so that it's open for discussion with council, Blanchette and Torgerson. And what are council's thoughts on this? What is your wish? It's under receipt, and so it's open for discussion. Councillor Torgerson.
I'll move 1, 2, and 3. And especially to the point where they'll be reconvening in number 2 with the potentially the members of the Affordable Housing Focus Group in developing suggestions.
Okay.
And grabbing that group back together again.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Salt. Discussion? Councillor Reimer, did you have something? I saw you.
There was something out of the throne speech today that indicated that the provincial government was going to have municipalities be more transparent in DCC costs and that kind of thing. Is that going to impact any of this? We're not sure what those...
I don't know that the village, or our village, my understanding is that all municipalities are transparent in their development cost charges. They can't be hidden. Yes?
And with respect to this particular matter, our development cost charge bylaw as it stands, it really has no direct bearing on the question of affordable housing.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else to comment? I would like for all of us to get together sometime to discuss some of the statements in here, some of the recommendations in here that I don't agree with all of them.
In
the consultant's report and all of their recommendations, I don't agree with all of them. I don't think they would be appropriate for Valemount. Yes, Councillor.
Perhaps you would like to join the focus group that day.
I shall. I'm just going to mention one because of my personal experience of where I live. And that is, they say that they should restrict the construction of housing for someone to have a second home. And I have neighbors who purchased their property 15, 16 years ago. They're excellent neighbors. They're very good citizens when they're here. They're here a lot. They hire locals to look after their property. They spent a great deal to improve the appearance of the property. They pay taxes, high taxes. They don't get any homeowner's grant. And when I say good citizens, I mean it, because I know that when they're here for the summer months, we had residents here who had lived here for many decades. The lady was in a wheelchair, and my neighbor thought nothing of going and picking her up and taking her downtown to the post office, to the bank, to the grocery store, and helping her out. So to me, those are desirable citizens. They're not just second home citizens. And many of them are planning to retire here. And if you look at the Northern Housing Leadership Incentive Program that the City of Prince George has put out on what seniors contribute, dollar-wise.
That was surprising.
That's right. Every 100 seniors contribute $3.2 million annually to the local economy. So with these people having retirement in mind, I do not think that we should restrict second home people. So, but maybe I will attend your focus group.
That would be terrific, Mayor Townsend. It's not my focus group,
Well,
it's the village's focus
Okay, I
group.
know. Okay. Anybody else have any comment about this? Yes.
I just keep thinking, you know, in comparison to, and I know comparison is a bad word sometimes, but maybe overused, but in comparison to the rest of the province and some big cities we have, our housing has got to be affordable. Just from where we're located and what we have here. I mean, our lots are a lot less expensive. Our development costs certainly, I think, are a lot less expensive than other cities and other municipalities. I mean, some of the things don't change, but, I think just the fact that where we are gives us an edge in affordability. I stand to be corrected and enlightened on what the term affordable means, but that's just my assessment.
I also want to make a correction here that the consultant, upon research, was deduced the fact that the reason the market has picked up is because of the potential ski hill. I speak to realtors regularly, and people to whom they have sold houses this last year, most of them aren't even aware of a ski hill coming. So his facts are not that accurate. Okay? Okay. Any comments? No? Hearing none? All right, so Councillor Torgerson and Councillor Salt, they moved recommendations 1, 2, and 3. All in favor? Carried. 8.3, Development Variance Permit, 0815. Recommendation is that to authorize staff to issue Development Variance Permit, 0815, for part of Block C of the Northeast Quarter of District Lot 7354, Caribou District, except Plan 27338 to relax the connection condition in Section 5.1 of the Village's Sewer Connection and Regulations Bylaw Number 710/2014 in order to permit 4 proposed residential lots to have septic fields instead of connections to the Village's sanitary sewer. Torgerson and Blanchette. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. 8.4. Recommendation that Council accepts the January 2016 Accounts Payable Report for information. Councillor Blanchette and Councillor Salt. Is there any question? All in favor? Carried. Committee of Council Lease Review. Recommendation that 2 councillors and 2 staff members be appointed to sit on a committee of council for the purpose of reviewing all village leases. I was wondering if council would approve it this time or defer until Mr. McNeil is here, the CAO, because I believe that it's a CAO's role to be on this committee as well as the financial officer and 2 councillors. Okay, Councillor Torgerson?
I'm sure Mr. McNeil will be happy to sit on whatever committee council requires him to. And that being said, a committee of council is your chair.
Okay, thank you. So I should like to ask if Councillors Torgerson and Reimer would sit on this committee with the CAO and the financial officer. because of your expertise in the area. Councillor Reimer and Councillor Torgerson?
Great.
Okay, good. So I'll take a motion then. Yes? Did you have something that you wanted to say, Councillor Salt?
I thought we had discussed that in a previous discussion that I could be a part of that committee. So I'm just wondering where the change happened.
On the lease review?
Yes,
Yeah.
If you wish to be?
I would love to be.
Okay.
I'll forego that.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. So Councillors Salt and Reimer with Mr. McNeil and Ms. McNeil. I'll take a motion. Councillor Torgerson and Councillor Blanchette. All in favor? Carried. Okay, 8.6, CAO biography, motion to receive for information purposes. Okay, Blanchette and Torgerson. And if there's no comment, all in favor? Carried. Bylaws and policies, 10.1. Village of Valemount zoning bylaw or amendment bylaw number 748, 2016, that council approved fourth reading of the Village of Valemount zoning amendment bylaw number 748, 2016. Councillor Salt and Councillor Blanchette. Any discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Oh, you have a question?
Just a comment.
Okay.
Best of luck to the development.
Good. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Village of Valemount Fireworks Regulation Bylaw number 749, 2016. Recommendation that council approves first, second, and third reading of the Village of Valemount Fireworks Regulation. Blanchette and Torgerson. All in favor? Did you have a question?
Yeah. I just would really like to congratulate and thank staff for bringing a 46-year-old bylaw forward for review and update to current times and legislation. Good on them. I know we've asked them to review policies and bylaws, and I just about fell over when I saw this was 46 years old. So congratulations to staff. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. 10.3, Village of Valemount zoning amendment bylaw number 751, 2016. Okay, recommendation that council, there weren't any comments received. Gives third reading to Village of Valemount zoning bylaw number 610, 2007, amendment bylaw number 751, 2016. Torgerson and Reimer. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. 10.4, policy number 1, development of policies. I'll take a motion to receive, please, because I have a comment to make on this. Torgerson and Salt. With respect to the draft of the policy, I cannot find a Schedule A. I have all of the policies at home. There is no Schedule A. So I would recommend that this be deferred. I'll take a motion, entertain a motion to defer this to the next meeting so that Schedule A can be produced. Okay, Blanchette and Salt. Any further comments? All in favor? Carried. Policy number 2, health and safety for staff policy. Recommendation that council approves policy 2. Approves policy 2 with recommendations or rescinds. What is council's wish? Salt? Councillor Salt.
I'll approve policy number 2, health and safety as is.
Okay. Second. Okay, seconded by Councillor Blanchette. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Okay, 11.1, council appointments to the Valemount Tourism Committee. Recommendation that council approves the appointment of Councillor Owen Torgerson to the Tourism Committee, Councillor Salt to the Tourism Committee as alternate, and the mayor is always ex officio anyway. But the reason for doing this is so that councillors have more spare time. We don't need 2 councillors attending the same meetings.
Yeah, I thought all along that I was the alternate. So
I thought so too.
I was kind of
Somehow it
surprised
got-
that this, I thought
Yeah.
I was the alternate anyways.
Yeah, so I don't know how it got mixed up in the recording of the minutes. Yeah. Okay, so do I have a motion for that? Mover and a shaker, please. Blanchette and Torgerson. All in favor? Carried. Okay, council reports. Does anybody have anything to report?
I do.
Oh, Councillor Blanchette, all right, we'll start with you.
So on February 1st, I had 2 collaborative meetings back to back. And then on the 5th, I had another collaborative meeting. And on February 8th, last night, we had our first CBT Community Initiatives Program meeting, and it went really well, and we've got a great bunch of people, and we're looking forward to this year's applicants.
Okay, your collaborative meetings.
That's for Northern Health?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Councillor Reimer?
I have Valemount Community Forest meeting on the 1st. Went to the Historical Society AGM on the 2nd. I did a Valemount Entertainment Society meeting the week before that. Special council meeting, and yeah.
Now you're tired and you're going to run away.
I might be more tired when I get back. Depending on how good natured he is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Councillor Salt.
On Friday, the 29th of January, I had a Trans-Canada Yellowhead Highway Association full board of director teleconference call. And I know we don't have a council appointee, and there had been in the past, so I'm just going to mention attending a Valemount Children's Activity Society board meeting on the 2nd as a staff member, but perhaps I can report things as a councillor. I don't know if that would be a conflict or not, so I'll clarify that with staff in the future.
Sure.
And I'm here tonight.
Good, thank you. Councillor Torgerson.
On the 1st was a VCFC meeting. On the 2nd, I had a tourism advertising subcommittee meeting, followed by a regular board meeting of Tourism Valemount. Today had a brush up and a kind of a fine tuning with Mr. Young and Mr. Gislinberry, working out some final details for our geothermal workshop this weekend, and followed immediately after that by a special meeting of VARDA, and I'm here before you now.
Thank you. The investment committee on CBT, and I'm looking forward to our CBT board meeting here in Valemount on May 27th and 28th. So, and that's all that I think is important enough to report. There have been a lot of other, okay. Motion to receive.
So May. Sorry, May what?
27th and 28th. Okay. The CBT board is meeting here in Valemount. Okay. So, Councillor Salt and Councillor Blanchette, that council receives the verbal reports. All in favor? Carried. List 14.1, outstanding council resolutions. Recommendation that council accepts the list of outstanding previous council resolutions. Blanchette and Salt. Any questions? All in favor? Oh, Councillor Torgerson.
Back down to one page.
Yes, good. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Are there any, 16.1, public comments on items considered by council as part of the approved agenda? Is there anybody that wishes to make a comment on the agenda that council discussed tonight?
I'm Ryan, I live at 66 Elm Street, and I just want to speak to the affordable housing needs and demands assessment. I was part of the focus group, and I'm pleased that council has gone ahead with the recommendations, and I just want to briefly touch on some of the concerns council had. So the needs and assessment study was pre-2011, so I remember the consultant saying it did not include, the ski hill wasn't a part of the consideration of the study because most of the statistics are related, are before 2011. So yeah, they didn't impact the results. The other thing, I mean, Councillor Reimer talked about, yes, it seems like it's affordable here, but one of the things the study points out is the median income in Valemount is much lower than the provincial average. So that is a cause for concern, and also availability. I mean, that also factors into affordability. So with all these in mind, I think I think it's a great move for a council to kind of act on these recommendations in a timely way before. Like you say, I mean, houses have been selling the last year even without the ski hill. So imagine when the ski hill goes through, that the demand is going to be even more, and what's available isn't even that. So those are just my comments, and I know even Jeannette had said at our focus group that the availability that the study pointed out is actually, those numbers are high. So what her experience was, the rental market is actually much lower than what the consultant came up with. And he used his basically census numbers, and he tried to incorporate an input, but he didn't have solid data. So I think it's a real problem, even though I know we enjoy some lower prices in Valemount, but yeah, I think the availability makes it important for us to act on, and I'm glad to see council looking at this, and happy to be helping in this matter moving forward because of my interest and also because I was involved in the focus group. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? No further public comments then? Motion to receive. Blanchette and Salt, all in favor? Carried. I'll take a notice, please, 17.1, to proceed in camera. That council proceeds to an in-camera council meeting for consideration of 3 items per section 91A, C, D, G, I, and K of the Community Charter to discuss the following: A, personal information about an identified individual, C, labor relations, D, the security of the property of the municipality, G, litigation or potential litigation affecting the municipality, and I, the receipt of advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, and K, negotiations and related discussions regarding the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages. Okay, Salt and Torgerson. All in favor? Carried.